Hello, Amadada. Welcome again. We are just 2 days away from start of new Test match. A lot of hype has been already created, be it because of the pink ball or the venue where we last had a 36 all-out game. Lots to talk about. But before we move on to that game, there was a practice match which was organized between the Prime Minister's 11 and the Team India. The first day when we connected, it was entirely washed out due to rain, and on day two, the team managed to have a 50 overs game. Indian team managing to bowl out the opposition within the stipulated 50 overs, and they chased it down with a few overs to spare as well, with the pink ball. More importantly, a happy thing to or a good confidence booster going into the test match.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? As cricket supporters, we would have loved this game to be for the full 2 days, so that our players get that test match feel, between the two games. However, the weather is not in anybody's hand, so whatever we got, we took it and we made the most of it. The bowlers did their job. They restricted the uh, Australians to less than I think 250, and then Harshit Rana was again amongst wickets. So good to see that he pushes his case even further now in the second test, ahead of maybe Akash Deep or Prasidh Krishna. And then almost every bowler was amongst the wickets. So good to see that. And then in the batting, right, we had two or three, I think, retired not outs, which means they had a good time there, and everybody got their chance. Even Shubman was amongst the runs, including the lower order batsmen amongst Jadeja, Washington Sundar, and Nitish Reddy. They all looked comfortable. In fact, uh, amongst the three again, Sundar felt like he was having the best time in the middle with his technically sound cricket shots. Hardly any risk in his batting. So it was great to see what we did in the practice game.
Yeah. What was not great to see is that you mentioned about all the bowlers getting a ball out there, but it was Ravichandran Ashwin who didn't even bowl a single over. So I think it's unfortunately clear signs that he's not near getting into the playing 11 anytime soon. But talking about the batting, you spoke about Shubman Gill. On a comeback coming from a fractured or an injured finger to scoring a half century against the pink ball, he also puts his case quite strong to get back into the playing 11, right?
Absolutely, and that short arm jab was there to be seen. That famed Shubman Gill short arm jab. So yeah, he definitely makes the cut in the first test, I believe. However, that reminds me of the playing 11 prediction we did a few days ago for the second test, and I remember you vehemently backing Jurel, and your playing 11 did not feature Gill. So what are your thoughts on that? Also, do you think there is any change in your predicted playing 11 since the last time we spoke about it?
I think nobody has the time to think about Gill and Jurel because Rohit Sharma and where he will bat is taking so much of your time to think about. Like, the eyebrows are raised because in this practice game he batted at number 4 or 5. There are averages going around that his average is above 50 when he bats at number 6, and all of these things are doing around so much that all of the attention is on Rohit Sharma. People are not really getting chance to think about, oh, there is maybe a Gill also who's waiting to come in, or a Sarfaraz also who's waiting to come in. So I think it's a very difficult question to answer. And what adds up to that mystery is that when KL Rahul attended the press conference, he was specifically asked about his batting position. And very nonchalantly, he answered that I know, or I have been told what is my batting position, but I have also been told not to tell you guys. So, you know, that mystery or that suspense which these guys are creating is really fantastic. But coming back to your question, right? I would still have Rohit Sharma to bat at number 3, just because he's an opener and the closest he can get to opening the batting or the similar conditions or the new condition of the ball is when he bats at number 3. The
Yeah.
pink
No,
ball was going.
I completely endorse your opinion. Rohit at number three would be a good thing because then he can hit a six over the square leg. He can hit a six off comments in covers, over covers, in fact, and then he can safely put us on a good track, score a quick 50 before Nathan Lyon comes in, and then he miscues, and then he brings his incorrigible self in the picture, and then completely throws the advantage to the Australians. So
I
yes,
was just going to say that, is it that sarcasm which is coming in, and by that time you got Nathan Lyon in, so I understood what or which way it's going. But
oh
it's
dear,
very difficult, because this what we have heard about or what we are reading about the ping ball. It has 6 coats of lacquer, which means that the ball will shine a lot more and it will stay hard for a longer period of time. So I feel that Nathan Lyon, or as any spinner for that matter, is not going to be that much of a wicket taking bowler in this game, but just by the looks of it. You never know what they may
I
do on
agree.
the.
I agree. You need those six coats of lacquer on the ball because there are six night watchmen in the Australian team right now. So quite justified. And I would say that let's bring the sandpaper out as well.
You're leaving me speechless, as Steve Smith was in the press conference when he was caught with that sandpaper though.
Yeah. Now talking about the pink ball, right, Rishabh? There are a few things that are not lined up quite well with India. Firstly, Australia has got a really good record in the day-night tests using the ping ball. So yeah, that's going to be a difficult challenge for India. And like we said in the previous sessions as well, I think we both are very bearish about our chances in Adelaide. Though you are still more positive than I am. You're the Rishabh Pant of being positive, and I'm the Cheteshwar Pujara of being positive. But we both are effective anyway. So now talking about the stats, right? Australia is clearly ahead of us, having an advantage. Having said that, they have also lost a test match, their only test match this year. So do you think that will be in their minds, and that would give us an advantage, especially with the Bumrah factor coming in?
Absolutely. I think, there was a lot of hype, or people were only concentrating on the Australian bowling lineup, that the trio and the deadly trio, etc. Yet these guys came out of nowhere. Like, not just Bumrah. Bumrah was obviously there, but the other two guys, Harshit Rana and Mohammad Siraj, they came out of syllabus and they created a havoc. And
Mhm.
Australians who are known to play that mental side of the game, when it goes against them, also it affects them so much. And inside, internally, there's so much going on that you'll see those effects when they step onto the field. So I'm just hoping that again India get a chance to bowl first, Australia are batting, and in that second session, just during that twilight, right, the Indian bowler just unleash themselves. The
Yeah, right.
pressure
I think
always be.
yeah, Rishabh, that's a very good point because I was just looking at some of the stats on the ping ball, and it seems the third session is the most crucial session, the one which moves from the twilight to the night skies, right? It seems the bowlers have the best advantage on the last session. It's something similar to what we have back in India, where the third session, particularly after 4 p.m., it becomes very conducive to spin bowling. I think something similar happens there with the pink ball and with the cold overnight conditions, and it's very difficult to survive in those conditions. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
see. Let's hope that we win the toss. We again bat first and hope that Bumrah does some magic. We survive the first two sessions, and then Bumrah does some magic in the third session.
No, I mean, just to get on the technical side as well, right? That why does it become difficult to spot the ball, or why the twilight as a time is the most difficult as a batter with the ping ball? You spoke about the lacquer part, which is added on so that the ball shines enough so the batters can spot the ball in with those artificial lights on. But what makes it difficult in the twilight is that your artificial lights are not 100% taken charge, and the natural light is also not 100%. So there's that mixture of both, and that makes it difficult for a batter to judge the depth and judge the trajectory, the drift of the ball. That problem, if you're able to play that part out, that half an hour, 45 minutes, or a 1 hour period, if you're able to take that out, I think probably that is the test of the character and of the technique and of all of those things, and that's what test cricket is all about. So I'm really excited for that. But like I said, before the Indians get the taste of playing with the pink ball and how tough it is, I want the Australian batters to be out there, the Indian bowlers to just give them some good happy hickeys on their body, and then we can see that what the Indian batters do.
Right. Good point, Rishabh. All good points, in fact. Yeah. So let's hope that we start on a good note, at least in the first innings. On the first day, like I said, I'm bearish.
I mean, that's just fine, but we'll just get back to the playing 11 point. We were not able to complete that because, again, like how everyone is drifted towards Rohit Sharma, that's exactly what happened with us as well. If I have to ask you, Amadada, where do you feel Rohit Sharma should bat? Should he open with KL moving down, or should he bat at 5-6 with Gill coming in at 3? So, what will be your changes if you are wearing the coach's hat?
Well, from keeping all the jokes apart, um, I would not disturb the opening combination of KL and Jaiswal because they have done well, and I would keep very difficult, very harsh on taking Padikkal out of the playing 11 just after one test. But then I would still bring back Gill in the playing 11 uh, on 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 the back of the 95 he scored, or he did some decent batting in the last tour. So I would let's say bring in Gill because he's fit. Devdutt Padikkal played the first test because Gill was injured in a way. So I would still bring Gill back, and then I would play Rohit at number six. The reason being, if let's say with the first innings we batting, if we show the patience and we are somewhere around 200 for 4 or 200 for 5, let's say 200 for 4, and Rohit comes into bat, let's say we are 200 for 4 after 65 overs, and Rohit comes into bat.
Sorry to
Even a quick
sorry, I'll give you time to complete, but 200 for 4 or 200 for 5 and saying that I am bullish does not make sense. This is massively sorry,
bearish.
the saying I'm bearish. That is massively bullish if you're saying that you want India to be 200 for 4 or 200 for 5. Sorry, I'll
Yeah,
give
right.
it back.
But I think if you stay there, right, the ping ball is still negotiable. Anyway, but if let's say if we are 200 for 4 or 5, and if Rohit's there, and even a quick 30-40 runs in the lower order would still somewhere take us to around 280, 275, 80, or even 300. And I think something that we noticed with the West Indies in the 80s and 90s, right? They they would just need about 300 odd runs in the first innings, and the bowlers would take care of the entire test. So even I feel that the current Indian bowling is good enough to just ask our batsmen to bat first, give them 250, 275, and then we are already at the point of advantage after that. So I'm looking from that point of view, Rishabh, where I'm thinking Rohit could quickly score those 30, 40 runs or even 50 or even big. We don't know, right? He's a world class player anyway. So I'm thinking let's not break any combination on the top and bring him at number six and bolster the batting order even more. Unless, of course, he does some incorrigible things that he is famous for. But anyway,
So
that's
do you
what my idea
prefer
is.
Rohit Sharma? Is that what you're saying?
Well, well, yes, I would say that. Even though previously I felt that Jurel should make the playing 11, and again, like it is harsh on Padikkal, it would be harsh on Jurel as well after just one test match to be dropped. But I think like this the series is long. I think Jurel may even get one more chance in the next three tests after the Adelaide test. So that's my combination, honestly. And on the side of bowlers, what do you think, Rishabh, you have on the bowling lineup?
So I was just gonna say that I have a very wild thought. anyways, spinners are not going to play a big role. Out of the two spinners who are playing, clearly Washington Sundar is better equipped with the bat in terms of technique, which is required to sustain at that level, especially the pink ball. So, anyways, the bowlers are going to win you games. You have somebody like a Prasidh Krishna and Akash Deep who are there with you. Why not drop a Ravindra Jadeja and get an extra pacer in? So that gives you not four but five fast bowling options, including Nitish Reddy. If I just take Nitish Reddy, the all rounder, out for consideration, there are four top notch, proper fast bowlers which you have at your disposal. And that's exactly what is going to be used in this game. And if you start aggressive, I mean, in the first innings, if you are able to bowl out Australia for like 150, or for that matter, even 36, I wouldn't mind with that. But if that happens, the batters currently are in good shape to at least get over that and get a certain first innings lead to then play along and take the game to close, or basically pull the game to your side. So I wouldn't even mind if India drop Ravindra Jadeja and play a extra pacer in place of him. Your thoughts?
So, so you're saying you would not play Nitish Reddy and rather
No,
have a fourth
I would drop
swing.
Ravindra Jadeja and I would get in maybe an Akash Deep, considering he's someone who probably swings or moves the ball a little slightly more than what we have seen Prasidh Krishna do.
So you're saying you will play um, with Jaiswal, KL at the top, and who would be your
Right.
number three then?
Rohit will come in at
Rohit at number
number
three, Kohli, Pant, and then you
Kohli.
would have Washi and Nitish at number six and seven. Is it?
Yes,
Okay, and then you would have the four fast bowlers.
four fast
Okay,
bowlers.
makes sense. Makes
See, if
sense.
you're playing
Quite makes
Australia,
sense. Yes.
you go for the kill. There's nothing sweet about them. You have to be nasty. You have to be nasty. You have to take some tough decisions, break some bones, hit the helmet, get some concussion guys in, make the physio run around a lot more than he ideally should, and just hit them where it hurts the most, right? I mean, we have been saying that these are tough guys, mentally tough. Just break them down there. I mean, if you're able to break them mentally, everything on the ground will fall apart like a pack of cards, and that's exactly how I would like to approach an Australia series. And obviously, easier said than
Yeah, I
done.
mean, true, true. And also the point that you made, you wouldn't mind them to be all out at 36, right? I would mind because I would only want us to be that team that was all out in the first test on 36, and then we won the series coming back. So I don't want the Australians to do that. So I don't want them to be 36 all out. I want them to be 136 all out, and then we still win the test match. Only India can do that.
Yeah, with the way these guys are currently playing, absolutely. But again, we are just moving slowly towards being bullish.
Slowly.
Contradicting what you said at the start. But it's good as far as the Indian team stocks are rising. We are happy in that sense. But
Right.
with that, I think just a couple of days more. Day after tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. IST is when the test match starts. So we are really looking forward for the pink ball to do some magic, and more importantly, the magician should be Team India. With that, I think we'll take a break for now, and we'll be back after the first day to just discuss on how the day fared. Hopefully, with a smiling face like it has been for the past week and a half.
All right. Thanks, Rishabh.